Does your anxious attachment have you showing up clingy in relationships, even though you are confident in so many other areas in your life? If the answer is yes, this video is for you, because I'm going to share with you how to master and overcome one of the most frustrating issues of healing out of anxious attachment, which is being clingy. By the end of this video, you will have the tools to move from clingy to confident in every relationship you have. Now, these tools aren't magic. You will have to be intentional about using them. And when you are, your clinginess will dissipate and your confidence will emerge. But first, I'm Vanetta, and welcome back to the My Sister, My Seed YouTube channel. We are a nonprofit committed to helping women heal from anxious attachment through embodying divine feminine energy, which is the greatest gift and the most powerful gift God ever gave to women. We also do work around sex trafficking and protecting young women and girls. So if this sounds like a community for you, hit the subscribe button and let's stay connected. Also, if you want to work with me to help you heal out of anxious attachment and embody feminine energy, just click the link in the description below. Now, let's jump into how to move from clingy to confident in relationships. Now, let me first say that the tools I'm sharing with you in this video must be coupled with an ongoing journey to heal out of anxious attachment. Healing from anxious attachment requires a lot of inner work. And I talk about this in my last video called How I Healed Anxious Attachment with Feminine Energy. And I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. But the reason why the tools I'm sharing in this video need to be coupled with your overall healing journey is because this video focuses solely on one area of what needs to be healed. And that is how to manage being clingy and needy, which are core issues that impact anxiously attached women. Now, I believe all women have a desire to be intimate and underneath their partners at times. Feminine women just love to bond and be close. But when you are anxiously attached, the need to bond can be excessive. And this is because the closeness that you desire is not coming from a place of this relationship feels so good. It's more so coming from a place of desperation and fear. Listen, anxiously attached people fear being abandoned. So they hold on really tight in relationships. So the goal is to show up in relationships more confident and less clingy. And you can do this because you are already confident in so many other areas of your life. You just need to be intentional about transferring that confident energy into your relationships. And one of the first things I did to move from clingy to confident in relationships was being intentional about discovering and meeting my own unmet needs. Listen, the reason anxiously attached people are clingy in relationships is because we have unmet needs and we are looking for them to be met. Now, whatever needs we didn't get filled as children, you can be assured we are looking to fill them as adults. But these are needs that you must fill yourself. And to do this, you must first know what those needs are. So ask yourself, do I have a need to feel validated? Is it a need to feel like you're approved of? Is it a need to feel loved and worthy? Is it a need to feel like you're enough? Listen, these are all valid human needs. And as children, these needs had to be met by a source outside of yourself, like your parents or your initial caregivers. But as an adult, these needs can't be met by something outside of yourself. It is your responsibility to become the adult who loves the inner child in you. And let me just tell you, when I became intentional about finding and fulfilling my own unmet needs, it was a game changer and a huge boost to my confidence. You see, I, like most anxiously attached people, had what I called a love deficit. I didn't get the love I needed as a child. And what I did to fill my own unmet love need was to love on myself. So what I did constantly was remind myself that I was loved by God, by my family, by friends, and deeply loved by me. And I would be intentional about noticing signs that I was loved. So when out of the blue, friends would call me and say, I miss you, let's hang out. Or when God would allow me to experience something happening in my life that I wanted to happen. Or when I was mindful of how my physical and financial needs were being met, I equated all of this to being loved. So to move from clingy to confident, find out what your unmet needs are and be intentional about filling that need yourself. Second on the list of what I intentionally did to move from clingy to confident was to remind myself of my amazingness. Yes, you get to praise and applaud yourself. In fact, it is a must if you want to move the needle in being confident. Listen, when you are healing out of anxious attachment, there is no room to be humble. You must pull out all the receipts, all of the things that you accomplished in your life and say to yourself, I did that. This will not only build your confidence, but it will help you place yourself on the pedestal in your relationships where you actually belong. See, when you are anxiously attached, you tend to put your partner on the pedestal, but you are the prize. You are the gift, and all of the receipts of how amazing you are is the proof. So for me, I was intentional about reminding myself on a daily basis, whether it was me journaling or having conversations with myself in my head or talking to myself while I was driving down the street, I would say, Vanetta, remember you graduated with your master's degree. I would say, Vanetta, remember you earned a doctorate. Vanetta, remember you started a nonprofit and didn't know what you were doing, but you got it done. I especially pulled out the receipts if a negative thought tried to come for me. Listen, I don't play with negative thoughts. I shut them down quickly. Thoughts become things. Thoughts materialize, and you can't afford this on your healing journey. Listen, I was nonstop with praising myself. And when you remind yourself of how amazing you are, you realize you don't need to cling to a partner. They actually need to cling to you. So remind yourself of your amazingness. It is the biggest confidence boost because what you are remembering is you are a big deal. And you are. So embody it. The third thing I did to move from clinginess to confidence was to be intentional about spending quality time with myself. And for me, this meant I would get dressed up and take myself on amazing solo dates because, like the L'Oreal commercial says, I'm worth it. Listen, there is something very confident about a woman all dressed up in a nice restaurant eating alone. She exudes confidence. She's not afraid to be alone. She loves investing in her me time. She finds this valuable, and it eliminates the excessive need to have your partner's attention. Also, when you treat yourself well, you are teaching yourself that your presence is valuable. And this is something that women who embody and embrace feminine energy understand. Our presence, our very presence is priceless. But you have to know this, and not just know it on an intellectual level, you must embody it. And when you treat yourself well, you increase your value in your own eyes, which boosts your confidence and shifts you out of clinginess. Now, fourth on the list of what I was intentional about doing that moved me from clinginess to confidence was having a baby to nurture. Now, I don't mean a physical, real baby, unless that's what you want. But the baby I'm talking about is anything that you can love, grow, and nurture. For me, this meant nurturing my nonprofit. I am expanding my nonprofit and pouring all of my energy and attention into making sure it flourishes. But for you, it could mean writing that book you always wanted to write, or getting a pet or a plant to nurture, or finding something else you can nurture and pour your energy into. This will allow you to tap more into your feminine energy, which allows you to activate more confidence. And trust when I say there is no woman more confident than a woman who flows in her feminine energy. She is self-focused and self-sourced, meaning she isn't looking for anything outside of her to fuel her or motivate her. And a woman with this kind of mindset and energy can never be clingy. So activate the most feminine side of you by giving yourself something to nurture other than a partner or relationship. And watch your confidence expand, and watch how you shift out of clinginess into full confidence. Now, the fifth and final thing I was intentional about doing that moved me from clingy to confident was pursuing my purpose and passion. I believe there is nothing more validating and confidence boosting than a woman walking in her purpose. And I say this in almost all of my content because it's true. A woman who is doing what she was created to do and following the sound of the genuine in her is a confident woman. And this is because knowing and pursuing your purpose gives you a sense of fulfillment, and nothing else and no one else can give you that. And I deeply believe that a lack of fulfillment is often why people are clingy in relationships in the first place. When you haven't tapped into what really fulfills you, there is a part of you that's empty. And we often try to fill this emptiness with people, but it's not people that will fill you, it's purpose. But when you look to get from people what purpose is meant to give you, we end up draining people and becoming clingy. Because people aren't equipped to give us that fulfillment that we can only get from purpose. Yes, a relationship and a partner, a good, healthy partner, can add to your sense of fulfillment, but it won't be fulfilling in and of itself. So find and fulfill your purpose, because when you do, you feel more confident and it will resolve your need to cling. Hear me when I say you can move from clingy to confident. You just have to be intentional about it. And yes, it is a struggle, but it is a struggle that you can definitely win. Healing from anxious attachment is a journey and a process. So click the link in the description if you need some support on this healing journey, because listen, it is not a joke. I would love to help you move from anxious to secure in your relationships. Now, let me know in the comments if being clingy is one of the ways that you show up in relationships, and if these tips were helpful for you. And please know that when you leave a comment about your healing journey, you are actually helping another sister in this community on her healing journey. Now, one last thing, hit the subscribe button, please, 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 because it helps YouTube to share this video and this channel with more women who need this kind of support. Now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.